ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. Oceans buried deep within, sands will swirl where life begins. Voices from the past will guide in the desert, nowhere to hide. And the light rise and empires fall. In the spice I hear them call. Through betrayal and through faith I will carve my path, embrace my fate. Sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless ways I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the trials I now erase. The trials I now embrace. I'll embrace. Oh, sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless waves I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the trials I now embrace. Oh, shining beneath the sands, ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. Oh, oceans buried deep within, sands will swirl where life begins. Voices from the past will guide in the desert, nowhere to hide. Shining beneath the sands, ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. In the desert, nowhere to hide.
All right, all right, all right. We are in. I'm getting my timing down a little bit better now. Yeah, we are in, guys. We are in. We're gonna cover the second half of that Dune or Funcom video tonight. So I already got it up and ready to go where we left it. We're gonna go ahead and cover the rest of that. So last night we saw a lot about the building. We saw cool big bases with the Harkonnen and Atreides style buildings. Crucial item was that you can refuel your base from the subfief console. That was pretty cool. Cool people in here. You found a way to clear your schedule. Your schedule. Yeah, we're not gonna go too long. We're basically just gonna finish up this next part of the Funcom video, and then because where I'm at, it's 10 p.m. at night, so I can't stay up that late. I still got work. Only got work I gotta work a full week this week. It kind of sucks, but well, this weekend we'll do the regular Friday, Saturday night kind of news, and then well, next weekend's gonna be. So I need to find out the times. We don't know real quick. I need to see. We need to find the times before we start this. They said what time does the open beta weekend start on the 9th? Is it in the morning? Is it gonna say? I'm trying to scour some stuff here real quick, find some information just real quick before we start this. It doesn't say. Let's go look over here on the Trying to think here. Now I'm looking at announcements in the regular beta. Oh, wait. Oh, well, it says that's May 6th. So May 6th is they're having an AMA. Funcom's having an AMA. Let's see, questions thread available May 5th. Yeah, I'll find out, guys. I'll find out what time that thing. I kind of wanted to know. You said 5 a.m. Is that Eastern time? Discord Awakening, Dune Awakening Discord event page. The event page. Event page. Which one's the event page? I see game announcements. Well, I'm at Dune Awakening Discord. I see community announcements, game announcements. Okay, so I see this one. It says large scale beta weekend. Okay, is that what you're talking about? Read more about it. Okay, so I'm reading the event page. Huh. Well, I believe you. I'm just trying to find it myself. That makes sense that it would be I saw something somewhere that said something about something at 5. I'm on the Dune Awakening page. And I don't even see it at the beta. Oh, events. The very top one. Yeah, I see it now. I'm stupid. So Friday the 9th, 5 a.m. Dune Awakening large scale beta weekend. I wonder what that 5 a.m. I wonder what that is. What time zone?
Beneath twin suns, the desert roars, a land of spice and ancient lore.
5 a.m. to 5 a.m. Oh shoot, dude. It ends 5 a.m. I was gonna take off work on that Monday to play the game all day, but if it closes at 5 a.m., I'm just gonna cut it off on Sunday night and freaking go to work. So save some time off. Save that time off for when the game actually launches. So that just they already have it linked to our whatever local time I'm at or we are at or whatever. Man, 5 a.m. I'm already tired thinking about that. Waking up at 5 a.m. on a Friday morning. Man, I guess I might not. It might be the early morning on Friday, guys. Maybe I'll wake up. So maybe I'll wake up early. I have off that day. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll probably just play till Sunday evening and call it a weekend. But so Man, I might not eat. I gotta take my kid to school that Friday morning, so I might not start playing till after that. I'm not gonna wake up all early for this. Yeah, let's get up regular time and then start it at 8 Central Time. Probably stream for as many hours as I can get away with before my wife wants me to do something. Then I'll get off and then get back on later that night, Friday night. And then I won't be able to play it all day. I won't be able to stream all day, guys. Even Saturday or Sunday, probably. Well, the keys, you guys can get up and play, but I don't think I will be. Well, the keys will be like, I'm assuming a couple days before. So you guys, whatever keys I can get, to my understanding, just because you click request it on Steam doesn't guarantee it. I will get a certain amount of keys, and I'll hand them out. I guess that Thursday or whatever. I don't know what day we're gonna get them, but I'm assuming it's Wednesday or Thursday. I was guessing. They haven't said. And then everybody that's probably I'll do a Thursday evening stream. And then I just don't know the amount of keys I'm going to get. If I only, let's just say, I don't know, I'm just guessing, I have no idea. They could give me like 20 keys and everyone gets one. Or it'll go through the Discord. Because we don't have that many people in the Discord. So like, I'm not just going to hand it out. I'll only hand it out to you. You guys are the true loyalists. And then if I have like only 5 keys to give out, I'll do one of those raffles I always do. And yeah, but yeah, Josh Gallegos, I got the Discord. It should be in my description of my YouTube channel. Let me see. I'll drop it real quick in there. I don't think I need to mark this on my videos. I don't have it. Not every video has it. Well, it'll be between. I'll do it live on YouTube, the giveaway, and then I'll confirm through the Discord, like through a DM that you guys who you say you are, and then that way I know. You can just DM me. Like, I'll probably just, the way I'll do it is I'll say, like, hey, so-and-so, you won the first key out of the first 5 spins. DM me on there with, or I don't even know how I'll do it. I'll just I'll just type something in the chat or something, and you guys can resend it to me, and then I know it's you. Like Lumberdan, all you guys, I know all you. If your name is the same in the Discord, I'm not gonna be too crazy about it, guys. I just don't want somebody just gets in there and changes their name real quick. But my Discord's not too big, so it'd be pretty easy to figure out. Cool. So we're gonna jump into this video, guys.
Welcome back. I have now 2 new guests with me to talk about exchange and the Landsraad. One of them is Joel Bylos, first time on this stream, never seen before. We did let him out of the doghouse again. So for those of you who wondered, Joel, creative director on Dune-Awakening. You want to introduce yourself quickly?
Sure.
For those of you who don't know him.
This week my name is Al Gaib.
Okay, there you go.
And yeah, I'm the creative director on Dune-Awakening, and I've had to change sponsor due to something that happened during the last podcast. Sorry, live stream. So I've switched sponsors now.
All right. So we just balance it out between Coke and Pepsi. All good. And then we have a first timer on the stream, Amar Zouari. Welcome to you as well.
Oh, this guy's goofy.
Senior
He's funny.
designer, Funcom. You want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yes, I'm Mar, senior designer on Dune Awakening. I mostly work with systems such as the Landsraad, what we call hazards, such as quicksand, drum sand, and sandworm.
Sandworm, master of the
Master
worm.
Sandworm. What was you like the godfather of sandworms? No, what was it?
The
Worm
worm
father.
father.
The worm father. Yes, the worm father. There we go. So if you make the acquaintance of one of our worms, you can blame Amar. Well, the whole team really working under him, but
Look at what
he
they
had
did to my
he had a big say in it. So yeah. Obviously,
worm
we
father.
do have social mechanics in the game, and there is a way for players to kind of influence economy, politics, a lot of those things. And one of the social aspects that we kind of modeled a little bit after
Was that what
traditional
happened? You really
MMOs
lost the
is
sponsor from
exchange,
Coke Zero?
which
Is that
is
real or are you
basically
joking?
our auction house. Joel, you want to go a little bit more into what that actually looks like?
Sure, I mean, you can probably see it on the screen right now, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's like, this is one of the reasons why we think Dune pushes a little bit beyond your average survival game, because we have this worldwide, and when I say world, I'm talking about our definition of world, which is battle groups in other games. It's kind of a definition where we have a bunch of these sietches, which are the servers, and they all connect to a single world, and within that world, there's a single exchange, which means people are able to sell and buy things off the exchange across these spaces, which means that you can, you know, obviously it's standard thing. People have seen it in MMOs for a long time. But the cool thing about our game is we have these dynamic elements that can be bought and sold on the exchange. And we really tried to bring sort of to focus some of the things from like, from the advantages that this type of game has. For example, freeform building. So you'll be able to craft the buildings, as you saw earlier, save them to the replicator that we showed, I think, in the earlier part of the live stream. And then you'll be able to go to an exchange, preview someone else's building sets, and then purchase them, bring them home, and then place out your own buildings. And obviously fill them in. So kind of the idea here is that we have this dynamic content. It means that people who play this role of architects, which is something that we've seen as I think a new kind of play style that comes out of these kind of games, these survival, you know, open world crafting games. People who are architects are actually able to make a living, hopefully.
You can be a
by selling
complete
really
architect
cool
and to sell all your
designs on the
blueprints.
exchange to other players. And of course, we'll have people who make beautiful, artistic things like the scorpion we saw that was really cool and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, then we'll also have people who are like sweaty PvP raiders who are really like making their honeycomb boxes to put out in the deep desert. So hopefully, you know, this creates some sort of economy around this, and that's kind of one of the coolest things about our exchange.
Yeah. I also think it's really cool because, again, if you don't like to build, you can just go there and get something really cool if you wanted to. Maybe you want something, but you don't want to spend the time to actually design it. So I think this is a very, very cool feature. And there is, of course, other things that you can as well.
So another really interesting sort of dynamic thing that you can put on the exchange is in our cartography system, players go out and they survey, and we've talked about this a bit. You go and survey areas, and when you have surveyed an area, you can basically print out a sync chart, which is obviously a name from the lore. Print out a sync chart of the area that you've been surveying, and that basically fills in all the resources and all of the things that you've seen on the map. You can go to the exchange with a printout of your sync charts and sell those sync charts to other players. So it's, you know, for Hackett Basin South, the starting region, the areas are fairly set. But of course the deep desert resets every week. And there are 81 different zones in the deep desert that need to be basically set up in this way. Yeah, surveyed and printed out. So we see this as kind of
this
an
game
activity
seems like
that
it's
we'll see
more
players doing,
closer to, like,
both,
you know, Ark
in a
or
guild, you probably have dedicated scouts
Rust,
who go out, survey
or maybe
the deep
No
desert, try to
Man's
get as much of
Sky
the
or,
resource information as possible.
Even some
bring it
was a
back
little
and
bit
hand it
similar
out
to
the
like
guildmates.
Fortnite a little bit.
But in addition to that, we'd also expect there to be independent contractors, people who go out to the deep desert survey and then sell their maps on the exchange.
We got a whole crowd.
And
We got a
hopefully
full
you can also
crowd
get a
tonight.
reputation of, as being someone who's very thorough,
We got a full crowd.
someone who does a good job of the cartography loops of the game. So people start to recognize, okay, this person's a good cartographer. I'm gonna buy
Welcome
their
to
maps.
the stream,
They're generally
everyone.
up
We
to
got
date for
people
the
on
week, and they're
TikTok,
generally in good
Twitch,
shape. So
and YouTube.
hopefully, again, just like the architect we want that to be a style of play that
If you're on
people can
TikTok,
really
we're
lean
just
into.
watching an
It's the same with
overview of
cartography. We
Funcom's
hope
live
that there are
stream
scouts
from
and
the
people who
other
lean into
day
this map
on
making side of the game.
building
So
and
also, like, as you
other
just mentioned,
mechanics of
Desert
the new
is
game
so
coming out,
huge,
Dune
even if you're a big
Awakening.
guild,
Make
you
sure
won't
to
have time or the resources
check
to
out my
actually
Discord,
really survey
and we'll be
everything, and
live streaming
maybe
this game
you
next
don't
weekend for
find
the
that spot
open
that has,
beta.
like, super saturated
So
resources.
make sure to
and
follow
then
on TikTok
someone
or whatever
actually
platform,
goes
Twitch or
out. It
YouTube,
might be a single player
and,
player, or at least even
get
like
notifications on my channel.
Play that might just try
We'll
to
be
sneak
live streaming
around,
it next
around
weekend.
all the PvP stuff, and they still have the opportunity to kind of make a dent here and make be important in the context of everything, especially the deep desert. So I think that's
All we need
really
is
cool.
Kato up in
And
here.
then
Where's
we can
Kato?
also talk about the Explorer, for example. That's also another thing that there's an opportunity for explorers here as well, of course. with
Sure. I
Exchange.
mean, yeah. So we have the unique schematic system in the game. We've talked about this as well, where players are able to find unique schematics, but they're limited creation runs. So you can only like create the item that you find in the unique schematic one time. So you want to find multiple versions of the schematic in order to like save that up and then craft more. So if you go and find a very rare schematic that nobody else has found, you can make a choice. You can either sell the schematic itself on the exchange to another player, which they can then obviously purchase and craft, or you can craft the item yourself and sell that on the exchange. So you also have this choice of how to approach putting things on the exchange, whether you want to be known as the person who crafts this very specific rare thing, or whether you want to be, someone who just like sells any interesting schematics you find on the exchange for other people to pick up. And this is something that also allows, like, the Deep Desert is a PvP area, and we know that some people never want to go in a PvP area ever, but they'll be able to get the items from the Deep Desert, hopefully on the exchange, as other players who are willing to go there will sell them as well. So there's hopefully this crossover. And again, going back to the guild layer, we're hoping that, like, there are some people, I think guilds will have this multifaceted approach where you have your scouts, your architects, your crafters, and your PvPers, right? And PvEers. So people who go out with different tasks and then they come back and they all work together to create the full stack.
Yes,
And I think guild activities is going to be something we talk about very soon.
yes, we will. But also, like, just to mention that again, so that's every archetype basically is kind of important.
I didn't
in
see
the
that. I
big
didn't
picture,
catch
which I
that.
think
That they
is,
said schematics.
an important point to
Schematics
mention
have
here.
limited use. I didn't see that.
Obviously, you can't just access the exchange from
I didn't hear him say
anywhere.
that, but maybe I
Right,
missed that I was
I mean-
talking.
Yes. Yeah. Nice lead in.
I know, I'm trying. That wasn't the best one, though, I admit.
No, of course, the exchange is only available in the social hubs.
Yes.
So Harko Village and Arrakis.
We'll go back to that part at
this
the
is
end of
because
it
we want
and
players
see if we
to
can
deal
hear.
with a bit of logistics, but we also want players to see.
Oh, okay, they
other
do. Okay,
players
they have
inside.
limited
And-
use.
Yeah.
And the Deep Desert
Alright.
is a big,
Yes.
lonely place until you get,
Depending,
until you
if
get
you're
the,
like
until you get
points
the
of
crap
interest.
kicked out of you by someone else.
Yes.
But then there's like the Haggard Basin is a place where you can meet and hang out with people. But the social hubs are really designed to be the place where you see a lot of other players, and the exchange is a location that pulls you in and like. You'll see, we've all had this feeling in MMOs when you go to the auction house and
Yes.
there's 50 people around, and
Yeah.
you can understand that this is actually a world with a lot of people in it.
You also have to go there to pay taxes, though, which is kind of like a little bit of a bummer as well. So you
snap.
can't just spend your money
Thomas
either paying
Alamus
taxes or spend
in
your
the
money buying cool
house.
stuff.
Actually-
Or make money
Yeah,
to
old
pay
school.
your taxes.
One of my old
That's
school
the other
guys.
thing, right?
Actually,
So-
forgot to pay my taxes for 2 weeks.
Where's Kato? We need Kato.
And I came back to a
No.
sad base that I had to repair.
Well-
That's my fault.
Well, that's all on you. That
Yes.
is all on you. Also, like, if you just had the small sub fee, it wouldn't be an issue in the first place.
And I could have
Got
paid the
greedy.
taxes in advance.
It's a little doghouse that we let you out, like Joel's doghouse, like
Exactly.
you mentioned. Yeah, exactly.
I've been in it for a week.
Until the next 2 weeks almost. Yes. So, obviously, that was one of the aspects that players can actually kind of take part in the economy. But more importantly, players can also take part in politics. That brings us to the Landsraad system. Before we go into the actual mechanics and what that looks like, Joel, maybe you can give us a little bit of a background of how that actually fits into the Dune lore.
Yeah, so the Landsraad is the High Council that deals with the Emperor in the books, right?
My
And
bad,
it's-
I'm messing with
it's
something.
kind of this political body. They have some influence on the policies of the Imperium. It's described as a political tripod with the Emperor and the Landsraad and the Spacing Guild. This is, but in our game, yes, the Landsraad have the ability to create decrees that then impact the entirety of Arrakis and affect the ongoing war. And the way that we've designed this system is that player factions, the Atreides and Harkonnen, are attempting to get votes in the Landsraad so that they can impact the overall structure of this. And so the idea here is just to really create and it is an endgame activity driver is what I call it, right? It's a way of creating a system where people are asked to do activities to help their faction earn votes in the Landsraad. And the Landsraad then has a voting session, and Amar's going to talk a little bit more about how that all works out. The only thing I will say in addition to that is that the Landsraad takes place across like a series of servers. Just like I mentioned, the exchange does the same thing. So there's one Landsraad for a world. A world contains multiple servers within it. So it isn't just like a few people competing. It's everybody in that world competing and all the factions in that world. And we will have a look at how the reputations and stuff come to play in this.
Yeah, I think we can basically just dive into it and show what it actually looks like game mechanical.
The only piece I find.
A few assets here that we can show you.
Yeah, so the Landsraad week, it's a cycle that lasts a week, and to be eligible to participate, players need to align themselves to a faction and be part of a guild that is aligned to the same faction. And the week starts with players having to go out into the world and find the representatives of the 25 Landsraad houses and basically convince them to reveal their requirement for the week. And these change every week. And as you can see here, the player has found one of these representatives and can try to convince them to reveal their requirement for that week.
So there's several ways to convince them to like reveal their kind of goals to you, and there's also depending on which great house that you're actually talking to, so they change those goals. Yeah, so one thing is of course doing chores for them in a way, like chores, but then you can also, there's also other ways, right, that you can convince them.
You can bribe them, some of them.
Straight out.
Some of them are not bribable. And yeah, that will reveal their requirement for the week, and then players can immediately start completing that.
And some of them, I believe, also react to your background that you chose in character creation. So they might like you more if you're from a certain background or a certain caste in the universe, and therefore they might provide more information freely.
Faster as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you get to that faster. And the reason that you should get to that kind of, you should reveal that fast is kind of something that we're going to show after now, so we can actually kind of switch to that and show the board, kind of the Landsraad board. Here we go. Yes.
Yeah, and this is the Landsraad board. How it looks at the start of the week, where you can see there are these 25 great houses shown, but you don't know what they require you to do that week. So once you have revealed the tasks, it will tell you and your whole faction what you need to do to complete it.
And of course, the earlier you do that, the more time you have as well to actually work on those.
And each square on this board represents a major house of the Landsraad, and these are the representatives that you're looking for in the world.
Yeah, and if you don't manage to reveal, over time they will reveal themselves. And as you can see, there are different things they require of you. Some will require you to harvest resources.
He's got a sub on YouTube.
Rapiers and deliver them. They might ask you to deliver vehicles such as sandbags and benefactors. Those are tasks more for the crafters, for the leaders. There's also exploration tasks that ask you to travel out into the world and craft shipments, build treasures, that contain specific things that some of the houses will ask for. And there's also the possibility for...
I guess it's going to keep playing? What the heck?
To progress these tasks by taking the control points in the weakness that are basically territory in these levels.
I think an important point to mention is also that you do actually need to not only be, you don't only need to belong to a faction, you also need to actually be in a guild to be able to participate in this.
Yeah.
So here we have a few of those. I think we can go now further to actually
thanks for the sub on
show
YouTube.
What your goal is on this bingo card, so to speak.
Yeah. So as the factions complete tasks, they will show up on the board in their color, and this progresses throughout the week.
We need to go back to the previous board if we can, and perfect, and just leave it there for a sec. Thank you.
Yeah, and Yeah, this is actually from the beta, and you can see that this week Atreides has absolutely crushed Harkonnen. But you can also see here that Harkonnen has won last week because they have the active decree. But this is where you compete, and towards the end of the week, basically the faction that has the most tasks completed by the end of the week will win. But there's also the possibility of faction winning before that time by completing a row of 5 tasks, which we call a sysselråd.
Yeah, it's a very nerdy term pulled from the books, but a sysselråd is basically when a major voting block in the Landsraad works together, and then they basically you can win the week by filling out a line. You can block that by, of course, taking votes away. So you can prevent an early victory in the Landsraad by jumping in and completing tasks in a line to prevent other people from doing it. Yeah, it's supposed to lead to players being tactical in their approach to how they do this, guilds being tactical in how they work together and against each other in this scenario, right?
And in this case, it's also really fun to talk to another
guys
guild
know,
and
I'm
like
experimenting
work
with
together
tweaking
to make
the
sure,
notifications.
especially when it comes to
there's a lot
that
of
specific
behind the scenes here. There's a lot of
I'm taking that a little bit
stuff
too
you gotta
early
mess
when,
with,
when it
so
comes to decrees of
I got some of them to work so far.
Really don't want one, but anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here. So yeah, so basically it's a row of either diagonally or vertically or horizontally. If you have all those 5, you actually win a sysselråd, and
then it ends early. But if you don't manage the row,
yeah, then it is the most tasks completed. But I think this is quite interesting because it's not just
Landsraad stuff's pretty interesting.
Or I think it's also the meta battle of blocking off the other
strategy.
faction.
There's quite a lot of tactics and strategy involved as well, and not only PvP. As we heard, there's like you can really contribute to this no matter what kind of player you are. You're a crafter, if you're an explorer, there's something for you to do as well to help your faction or your guild in this case. Also, what's interesting here is you see the placement of the guilds as well, which gets us into rewards. What are some of the rewards that you get from actually participating in this?
Yeah, the main reward that players are fighting over are the decrees. They are significantly powerful and they alter the rules of the game, so to speak. So we have decrees such as access to vendors that provide some of the most powerful items in the game. That includes weapons, armors, tools, vehicles. It can be something as reduced crafting costs for the whole faction for the whole week, or even some more rare ones that are like the one you see on the screen now, where all items are dropped in the deep desert, basically making it a full loot
PvP heaven, basically.
For 1 week.
Yeah. I think what's important to mention again is that this is actually for a whole world. So you change basically the rules and the mechanics for a whole world and all the servers or sieges that are part of that world. So it's actually quite a big impact you can have on how the game is played for like a whole week.
Yep.
Which is very exciting. But there's more rewards than, we see a few more decrees here as well. And again, it's important to mention that there's not just PvP decrees that you can do. Like if you can be, we actually discussed that earlier, if you can be like, if you want to be a guild that is all about peace and you really want to kind of stop the PvPers from like doing their thing all the time, you can actively try to block them from, because they want to go for full loot again and stuff like that. So you can actually band together with other guilds and try to kind of counter that in a way, which I think is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, one of the ways you can do that is when when the week ends and the voting session starts, the guild leaders are the ones that can vote on the selection of 3 decrees that week. And they vote with something called voting power that they gain based on how much their members contributed to the tasks. So a PvE guild, as you say, that is very active and contributes a lot, they have more to say on which decree is chosen than a guild that contributes less.
Yep.
So it's not only about the factions winning against the other factions, it's also about which guild within that faction has contributed the most.
Exactly.
Because they get more power to decide.
You can see on the screen that on the 2 sides, you can see the top 5 contributing guilds. So you can sort of also, like as guilds, you can also think about how you want to climb the ranks. So particularly the Harkonnen who like to backstab and take over each other's places.
Hey now.
But like it's you can see the same like with the Atreides. Maybe they're a bit more noble about it.
My screen a little smaller there.
There's
I was
also
messing with some stuff real quick.
competitiveness within the guilds, within the factions, as well as this competition between the factions. which is, you know,
You're saying there might be backstabbing
I'm
in
saying
between
there
the
might be
factions.
plans within plans. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Plans within
absolutely.
plans, and that's kind of the idea here, to build this system. And I want to stress that, like,
Talking about Landsraad?
when the game launches, this will be there, but it won't be as fleshed out as it will be over time, right? Because we'll continue to add more activities, more decrees, so that the game will continue to evolve with different things happening, right? Like, and that's kind of the idea. Like, when we add X, that's going to start showing up in the Landsraad as an activity that we want people to do as a part of the Landsraad. And so this is a
The Landsraad is basically just
system that I
like
feel
saying
has like an infinite
Landsraad.
potential to continue
So
expanding
Landsraad
as
is
the game
the
expands, and that's
kingdom
kind of our goal as well.
that all the
Especially
houses
since you don't only have the
are
decree as
in.
rewards, there's
So
other
all the
things
great
as well.
houses
And
are
it's
in.
not just the
In
factions
the Dune
that are
lore.
the winners, even if you lose. But maybe you can
So
comment on
you guys
that.
know that.
So yeah, you have something we call personal rewards that are for
For those,
each
for
of
the
the
some, well, not
houses.
everybody
And
has
they give
read the
everybody
books,
who
I guess, but like,
contributes a certain
yeah, the
percentage.
Landsraad. It's just like saying the kingdom.
Rewards. The rewards can be something
You
like,
know, the kingdom of the
create a
universe, or
story,
whatever, or the known universe, the
large
Landsraad. So
amount of
the
endgame
great houses are
components,
combined,
unique,
and they fall under,
cinematics.
and they're controlled by the
Again,
emperor,
They're always powerful.
Shaddam.
And eventually
Shaddam.
even the house colors of that house.
Emperor
has a
Shaddam
swatch,
controls,
which
and
you
he's
can
and then
apply
there's a
to,
Landsraad, and there's a Chom,
and this is,
directorships. There's like a
given to
board of
those regardless
directors.
if
There's all
they
kinds of
give
stuff
the
going on
house or if
in
they don't.
Dune.
And they start at
And
pretty low
everyone wants to
percentage, so
fight
it should
for
be
a
something that's
directorship
achievable for,
and all that stuff.
for many players.
Also on a
Even as a
personal
solo.
level. Yeah, that's really cool.
Really,
And,
you're the most powerful
I think
house
it's one of the
if
decrees
you're in
actually, because you
control
can
of
actually-
Dune,
I'm not sure if
Arrakis.
we've shown it on
Like,
the asset,
and then the
but you can also
Harkonnens were in
unlock a
charge of it for about 80 or so years before the lead up
vendor.
to like the movies.
Like that's,
So
I
the
think
Baron,
is that a
the Baron
decree?
was like
I
young.
actually not
The Baron was
100%, but
young
it's a
and in
decree.
shape
Yeah.
and buff
There's,
when they first took
there's
over
multiple decrees that unlock different vendors, and they have
Dune.
as I
And
said,
then
Those
he gets
schematics
kind of
that
forced to
very
give
strong schematics, and they also have
the Reverend Mother.
discounted,
She's not the Reverend Mother yet, but
general endgame player.
Gohaim,
So there's
get him to knock her
double
up.
reward there in a way.
But
And we
he
talked
doesn't
really
like
about being just
women.
armor and map and
As
weapons,
everybody
but
knows,
also
the Baron,
meaning
he always
tools and other
likes to
things that
abuse
are
and
interesting,
torture
yes,
boys.
for like any kind of
So he was all revolted by it and all that.
Yes.
We'll
I
get-
think,
we'll save that for the
was
weekend.
Actually, a good overview already, and as mentioned, we have the beta weekend coming up. So, no, actually, players won't be able to check out the launch at the
No,
beta
no,
weekend.
no.
Unfortunately, that's a bit
It takes a bit too long to get
That's
here.
a bit, yes,
This
that's
is
a bit,
endgame, right? Like,
yes,
you
it's
can-
a bit too complex.
you can join a faction. Probably you can join a faction in the beta.
You can.
I
Oh,
think
okay,
you'll
I
be able
see.
to join a faction and,
You'll
and
be
like
able to choose.
start doing quests and get
Yeah,
a feel
you
for
will be able to.
what's it like to be a Harkonnen on the ground, or what's it like to be in Atreides.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't reach the Landsraad in the beta
No, that's
scope
true.
that we're
I
going to
just
have
remember that as well,
on May 9th.
unfortunately.
But that's a part of the
It is
surprises. We can't show everything.
No, and it's part of Endgame too. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many other things to do anyway on the way there. Like, yeah, there's millions of things that you can do for any type of player. But yes, thank you so much, Joel. You're actually going to stay here because you're going to help us with the Q&A.
Nice. This is going to be fun. Ask really spicy questions so that I can give really spicy answers.
Amar, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully we have you on the stream sometime soon. It's really great to have you. Thanks for your for the chat. To mention again, so we have collected questions from you during the stream. We will answer those during the Q&A. Plus, we do have a raffle that we will do during the Q&A. We will actually giving away one Ultimate Edition, one Deluxe Edition, and 2 Standard Editions from
We won't be
people
able
that
to,
we will randomly
watch
choose.
the. Well, we won't. This is already passed, so we won't win anything.
randomly choose. We will start the raffle in a second once we're done, like with our, like Joel and I, with our puppet, our in like what is it called when you do not inspo, when you not that when you do stand up, not stand up either. Oh god, that would be horrible. Improv, thank you. Our improv sock puppets. Yes, we will have Leo back as well for the Q&A to help us with answering some questions. We are gonna mic him up. I'm basically waiting as well. If I can't actually hear now. There we go. I cannot hear at the moment. I'm sorry, my earpiece is not working. Let me just
Dude,
turn it
she's
up.
giving me like massive cougar vibes.
There we go. Yes. So, changing into videos. We don't have a video here.
Man eater.
We have a magical video.
Oh, we have a magic video I didn't know about. All right, let's watch the video.
The only peace I find is a future that never happened. One where I, Paul Atreides, was never born. I created the future until it created me. But I see a narrow way, a path that might have been. What if my mother had obeyed her orders and given birth to a girl? Everything would change. Dr. Yue exposed before his betrayal. A world where my father lives. House Atreides surviving the Battle of Arrakis. Sardaukar deployed to protect the spice melange. A war of assassins spreading across the planet. Fremen exterminated. No Muad'Dib. No Lisan al-Gaib. No Kwisatz Haderach. All of my visions lead to horror. Except for this one. This one leads to you.
Listen, Agaib.
All right, we are back for the Q&A. And for the Q&A, we have Joel here, who is holding, for whatever reason, a Chris knife. Just make sure, like, the dangerous. Joel and weapons is dangerous. Anyway, and we also have Leo back to help us with answering the Q&A questions. As mentioned, we also do a raffle during this
Yeah, that
section.
Landsraad stuff seems pretty cool.
So, while I see the wizard behind the scenes preparing this, you'll be able to type exclamation mark "awoo" into the chat. For those of you, for those of you who know, for those of you in the beta, they will know. Also, a reminder that it's unfortunately only on Twitch because our YouTube bot is just not cooperating right now. Apologies for that. We'll definitely make sure that we'll do future raffles for both YouTube and Twitch. Yes, exclamation mark, awoo. Do you want to tell the story about that, Joel, by the way?
I mean, should I? Or is it like an intimate story of me and the players in the beta?
It's just, we had, in the beta, we had an improvised, let's call it improvised voice line that was not finalized. And
it was very well acted.
very well acted.
And it
was an Atreides, right?
It was an Atreides exhorting her men to do better. And come on, Atreides. Atreides. Awoo.
Atreides.
Awoo.
Awoo.
It was
Inspiring, right?
It was inspiring.
Super inspiring.
And
super
it became
inspiring.
a meme. And now it's like an inside joke.
Very high energy too. Like you just that one is single-handedly the reason I'm going Harkonnen and Atreides, by the way.
Nice.
You've had enough, huh?
No, I'm lying.
We've driven you away with our honourable ways.
No, it's the faction things, quite honestly. Anyway.
You just like bold men. I get it.
Sorry, Joel. We can shade. Okay. Anyway, exclamation woo! But let's start with the Q&A and get the first question here. We have Danaus Matros. I'm always awesome with reading usernames. Will it be possible to mix and match the build sets of both Atreides and Harkonnens, or are we restricted to only one?
Thank you for the Chris knife of speech.
The kryptonite of answering questions.
Yes.
Questions.
So, yes, you can, but it'll be a bit easier to get the first one of those, and then you'll have to do a
Yeah, I like
bit
that
more
trailer
work in
too,
order
Fabulous
to secure
Rapper.
both.
jump through some hoops because
Yeah.
no one likes to be betrayed.
But you can,
Exactly.
I wonder if this game's gonna, if they're gonna bring it out on Switch too. I wonder because the Switch 2 comes out soon.
together
Yeah.
for the
I wonder if they're gonna
most
develop
part.
a
There's
port
a
for
couple
that.
of unique pieces that,
Exactly, but should work good.
yeah, it's going to look amazing.
I mean, I think we've seen actually someone mix the building sets in the building contest.
I
earlier
think
from the beta
I think
testers.
the winning one did.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. I
Yeah.
think it was C.
You will, however, be a pariah and an abomination to both factions
Yeah.
if you choose to use their building sets to create a single building.
Not if you're really good, Joel.
Or if
you
you're
know.
if you're a Bene Gesserit and you're trying to get them together,
Okay.
as the law would indicate.
Because I'm probably gonna get a Switch too.
Anyway, let's go to the next question. Subdacius is asking, will there be faction-specific chat so you can coordinate Landsraad strategies without giving away secrets to the enemy? Good question.
It's also a Leo question.
Well, there is no faction-specific chat, but we do have a guild chat, so you can coordinate on a guild level, and that should be helpful to coordinate these type of activities. And it should be possible to also use the area-based chat we have in the region to coordinate with other players nearby to set up some scheming.
And you can also
If you want to do that.
you can also listen in if people are stupid enough to use the voice proximity to talk to each other about plans.
Sneak up to their bases.
That happened to some of the streamers that we had going live a few days ago. It was actually really funny. I was listening to, I think it was like French streamers and like English streamers that were listening to French streamers. It was actually kind of funny. Anyway, let's go to
Someone's going to punch me for this, but were they coordinating their surrender? Or was it just... No? Okay.
I don't know.
Never mind.
Don't remember. All right, let's go to the next question.
Friends surrendering.
Mandem007 is asking, can certain base equipment be turned off from power drain when you're away from the game to preserve the power drain?
Yeah, the Switch
So the way
supposedly
this
there's going to be
works
another wave
is
of
that
pre-orders.
You need to have a higher level of production.
But I just don't
than
see.
your current
This is not
use,
COVID
right?
times
And that
anymore. I don't
allows your
see
shield
the
to stay
stores
up.
being sold out. I think
So
they'll get some.
what you
in
can
the stores
do
probably.
is turn off some machines to lower your use, and then
The
you can
PS5
also
Pros,
turn off some
they're in
generators
stock
to
day
not
one in stores,
spend as
so
much,
I don't know.
energy, right?
Switch
But
to.
there's
I mean,
still
I'll
a
be
limit
playing
to
Dune
how
anyways. I
much,
probably won't buy one right away.
Too much fuel.
I'll
you
just
can
wait.
store in the
If they are out in
generators, right?
stores,
So
I'll
it's
just
not
wait until one
indefinite.
shows up in a store. If I
But,
see it, I'll buy
It
it.
does make it a lot cheaper.
I'll be playing
for it to
Dune
last
anyways.
Yeah, so basically just have the fuel there to power your sub-thief so your
Yeah.
base is protected, which
Yeah.
is kind of the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like
that's definitely an option.
it's a very simple calculation. One fuel cell lasts 1 hour in a base generator. So it's very easy to have enough fuel to figure out how many hours you have left based on like how much fuel do you have.
I think
And-
the sub-thief even tells you now as well.
Yeah,
like you see how
there are
much
timers
days.
and everything. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we
the-
saw
but,
that earlier.
but you can turn off, like, it doesn't matter that much if you're not above the power usage of the generator. So if the generator makes 75 units of power and you're using 25, 30, 35, 40, whatever, and then you turn off all the things that are using up to 35 or 45, it won't change the rate at which the generator generates power. So it doesn't matter that much to turn them off.
Yeah.
It only matters to turn them off if you're starting to go above what the generator can handle. Right? So
Yeah.
so but as Leo says, the base rate, one fuel cell per hour, and then you can stack up enough. I think it's 3 weeks of power right now.
Yeah, or perhaps even longer.
Twitch
with
2
the
comes out
Videocon.
the same
Yep,
day. This
so it's
Dune
quite a lot of power
Awakening
that
comes
you
out
can-
June 10th.
So never fear, we've
So,
thought about people who need
I'll
to
be busy with
go away
this.
for a few weeks or whatever and have holidays and things like
if
that.
I
Just
happen
go
to see
holidays
one in
for
a
like
store and I get lucky,
half a year
I'll
or
buy
so,
it. If
basically.
not, I'll just
Just
wait
get a
until I
friend
see one.
to check in on your base for you.
That's what I'm
If you
gonna do.
don't
That's my
away for too
plan.
long.
Yeah. Boris8489 is asking, would love to know what kind of system is in place to prevent making this always one-side winning.
Sure.
We didn't expect that question at all.
Maybe. We have a couple of systems, one of which I'm definitely not going to talk about
Nope.
because I don't think I
Nope.
should.
No.
And because also then I know people will start trying to game it, and I really dislike it when people do that. So I'll
It's
not
gonna be
talk about that one.
the little devil on your shoulder just telling you. "No, don't
However, there is a new faction that we will add to the game sometime during post-launch, and that faction's job will be to make sure that the Landsraad remains balanced. And there'll be a whole set of different mechanics coming into the game around that third faction. And that's all I'm going to say for now. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's not such a, I think, onerous task for people to be able to keep this fairly even if the population dips in a particular direction, right? If you end up with a lot more Harkonnen, then you end up with a lot more Atreides on the same world. shouldn't be the case, but if that happens, it's still completely possible for the Atreides to participate and make changes in the Landsraad. So it should work out. That's basically. But I'm not going to talk about the detailed mechanics behind how that works.
No. We can ask YouTube comments to comment below what they think, what kind of action we're introducing next.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, let's do that. Just comment on what you think or what you want us to add. Doesn't mean we can add it, but it's still interesting to hear what your thoughts are. Blind shooter, blind shooter zombies. What a fantastic username. How often do you have to pay tax?
Yep. So the way this works is that you'll need to pay tax.
I wonder if we're gonna have the
every 2
Fremen
weeks.
or
That's,
Ixians
that's a
or
cycle.
what. Starter card already in the game.
To expand on that a little bit more, then
Who will
if
they
you
add?
don't pay
I wonder.
the tax at that point, then your taxes
More
will
likely,
be
seems like
overdue.
Fremen. I don't know.
But your base shields won't actually be turned off until you forget to pay for another week after that. So you have quite a bit, or another 2 weeks after that. So you have quite a bit of time to pay.
You get a red letter saying "pay now or else."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like low-level starter cars coming to your house and like knocking on the
Yeah,
door.
like my university student days.
About time.
I don't have to pay this yet. It's fine. It's only the second overdue
A
bill.
third until you get the third overdue
That's how it is.
message. Yeah, exactly. Just fill
First
it
one
out.
is just a suggestion, right?
So Choker DXNK. Apologies if I butcher username. I'm not doing it on purpose, I swear. If someone buys my blueprint, is it a one-time sell and I'll have to list it again?
Yes. So one tool is one use. So you'll have to create the replication process again, right? And then you'll be able to sell it. So this way we ensure that once you've sold your design, it's not out there forever. So you can continuously supply it.
Yeah, it's a consumable, essentially, right? So you sell the blueprint. We're talking about base blueprints, I'm assuming, rather than
Yeah, I think
schematics
so
for items.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you sell your base blueprint, people can consume it once, and that's it, right? They can't consume it infinite times. So if you make cool creations, yeah, it's like the ultimate form of copyright, thanks to the Imperium.
Yeah, and I can also add that you can't just go up to a random base you find and copy the design, right? You have to have access to the base to be able to do this, high-level access.
Yes, permissions.
And you also have to copy your base again to sell it to.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not really sure which of the things they were asking here about, but yeah, just to cover all our bases here. Ha! No pun intended.
Yeah.
No, I meant the base. Anyway, I didn't get it. It's the highliner joke from last time.
Yeah.
Reaper to, is that a K? Yeah, to K7. What is the maximum number of bases you can have?
3. So you have different types of sub-thief consoles, right? And you have the basic sub-thief console, you have the advanced sub-thief console, and together, however you split that up, you have a
Yeah, it would be
cap of
interesting. I want to
3
see what
that
this
you
third
can
faction is
own.
going to be.
You can then have a permission to access any number of other sub-thief consoles or bases, right? But that's just what you are restricted to. And then we also have a further restriction on the number of basic sub-thief consoles at 2.
We haven't actually talked about this in the building part, but you can easily abandon a base via the map, for example. So if you're like, all of a sudden, no, I don't need that like 4x4 box anymore that I made at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, it's actually part of the tutorialization as well.
It's encouraged to get rid of
it's
old bases
encouraged,
because this is
So
one
they
of
can
the things that I it's one of the problems that like comes with the persistence of a game like this, right? Like in an MMO, a traditional MMO like World of Warcraft, it's not like you build a base in the starter zone and leave it there for a week, right? Because imagine how many bases would end up stacking up, and that's kind of how our game does work, is like that. So you can end up with a lot of bases. So the opening tutorial encourages you to get rid of your old base, your first base, and then you move further and further out into the world, and we're asking you to create bigger bases. So I will say, just do your fellow starters a favor when the game launches and clean up your old bases, people.
Yes.
Don't leave trash on Arrakis.
Yes, clean up after yourself. All right.
And don't leave trash in Iraq. That's funny.
Mandem 007, again.
Spacing
your
Guild would
question,
be
Can a
cool.
guild be
But they don't really
a party
have.
of one individual or at least 2 players?
They don't.
Good question.
Spacing Guild
There's
just
no minimum
uses like
requirement there, so that works fine.
Chome mercenaries and stuff,
enables you
right?
to be part of the
They
Landsraad.
don't really
If you
have.
want
Maybe
to
it's
do that as a
Chome.
single
Maybe
player.
it's Chome
And then
mercenaries.
there's upper cap as well at
Starter
32.
car kind of in the game already, but maybe
But
they're
yeah,
going to be
they
more
can be very
active. I don't
small as
know.
well.
Yep.
Lenoli. I am sorry. The screen is kind of so weirdly angled for me.
Lionart.
Lona Lionart. Oh, Lona Lionart. Yes. If I'm building vertically on a cliffside, will the cliff work as a wall and keep sandstorm damage out, or I need to add another wall along the cliff to close off the structure? That's a good question too.
So for that one, yes, you will need to add another wall, and it depends on certain complicated factors depending on the distance to this opening and how close you are to the other surrounding walls and roofs. But in essence, yes, to be safe, you need to do that. And the reason we're doing it this way is to make sure that bases and their contents eventually do decay away if they are in fact abandoned, right? So we don't have bases staying around permanently taking up space.
I mean, while we don't expect anybody to quit this video game over time, while we expect 100% of our players to keep playing forever, there may be some that leave, and then we're going to have something like a decay system in place. So yeah, that's why we have to do this.
Yeah, or you could just get tired of the base and move on, right? We need it to be removed in that case.
Yeah. Sarah Nielsen is asking, how do you set access level towards strangers to your building?
Yeah, so if it's if the question is if you can
Sorry, I'm
give
not
access
talking.
to
I'm kind of
someone
watching
you
the
know,
questions
then
here,
you can
guys.
search for their name and add them that way, and you can also interact with their character in the world, give them access that way. If you have them on your friends list already, imported through Steam, for example, then you can also go through the social system menus we have and edit permissions for someone in bulk. Now, it could also be that the question is if you want to make your base or parts of your base public, right?
I think that was the question. Yeah, exactly.
And what you can do then is go to individual objects on the base, like doors or machines and whatnot, and lower its access level requirement to public. And then anyone will be able to access it.
And we've seen some really cool examples of this in the beta, where people, for example, put out a little bit of a drink of water for other players, or a little piece of shade, or somewhere for them to shelter for the sandstorms, and they make a little area of their base. It's just a little bit public, so people passing by have somewhere to stay.
Like
it's very nice.
A water station with like different water canister, like where people can get water and stuff. So super nice.
We saw the public toilet earlier as well. Right? That could be a good one.
That is true. Yes.
Generous to strangers.
Yeah. Empty your still suits. Michael is asking, can you move the whole base, or you need to build it all over again?
You can copy the design to a Solido replicator, right? And then you don't have to come up with something new on the new location, but yeah, you do need to build it again.
And you already know hardcore PvP and
carry whatever items.
Gamers are already trying to figure out ways to exploit this game. Find the exploits.
But
I'm not good about all that kind of thing.
Well, right? And vehicles can have quite sizable
there's going to be
storage.
people trying to
So that makes the process
find all the cheating.
Less inconvenient.
And there's a quick deploys, right, which is super nice with vehicles specifically.
Yeah, the quick. And we're also very generous with the building costs in this game. We're not. We like when people make cool buildings, so we're not trying to make it a super grindy, like, you have to spend 20 hours getting enough materials just to build the base, right? It's actually, I think, relatively fast compared to the standards of the genre.
Yeah,
I fully agree. I was going to comment on that, because what I generally do is I don't care about granite, for example, or the base, or the material for the base. I generally might just dismantle the actual refineries or so, just so I can get them up really fast again, or immediately, especially the power generator early on. And anything else, you can just a few minutes and you have the material again.
Yeah, so nice. We wanted to find that sweet spot where it still feels like you worked.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, base, right? If you're asking me,
it isn't so cheap that. No, it feels valueless, right?
Yeah.
That preview was awesome.
It's not
Man,
so much
I had a great time
with that. Painful to gather the materials.
And we only had a little section of the game. Wait till we get the full release and we get all the Landsraad, and we can do all the full aspects of the game.
If you have one of those huge places that we've seen, then you're basically established yourself, and you're most likely not going to move.
I could see some hardcore PvP type gamers.
All right.
Not maybe liking the combat.
Dragon D?
Like
Dragon Die.
It's a very more RPG.
Can you link friends' bases together?
RPG.
Well, you can place the bases pretty close together. You can't actually.
The melee combat's
them together,
slow, like the movies, a little bit, and then the gunplay.
No, you couldn't.
The gunplay feel. The gunplay feels like Fortnite a little bit.
Each other and have permissions to cross into.
Could be fun for which
now.
I don't have an issue with.
Probably do if you really wanted to have separate buildings.
I could see some real hardcore like
And then build
You know,
two separate buildings. That might work.
PvP kind of
But
people,
also, you could
maybe
have
not
like because
necessarily.
you can't put them so close
like in
next to each
the
other. You can just
combat.
have like doors that are so close that you can
No.
just go from one to the other.
Which I
That's
have-
not
I love it. I have no issue with it.
Briefing territory. We have to, because otherwise people could surround your land claim,
Yeah.
right? So we have to give people
right.
a little space
Yes.
to
We
avoid.
have a
See, that's,
buffer
that's
zone
why
there.
they're designers and I'm not.
Sadly, we have these lovely people on the beta who build really nice things for other players, and then occasionally we see people in the beta
Yes.
doing things that are like
Yeah, that
quite
are
nasty.
like-
And then but the good thing
Yes.
about betas is we then get to make design allowances for these kind of behaviors, which is great.
Exactly. We will learn and make sure that it's a bit harder to do in the future.
Yes.
Scarcy, can you build into rock, like make a cave and an underground base?
Yeah, so what you can do is, there are some formations where this makes sense, right? So you can build around a cave entrance or underneath a large overhang, or things like that, right? And you also have quite a lot of allowance for building so that your walls stick into rock and things like that, right? So,
But yeah, we
works quite
don't
well.
allow you, like most of the cave spaces in the world are actually spaces where NPCs live,
yeah.
right? And so you can't build over the top of NPC camps.
Yeah, there
They're
are very
points
few
of
where
interest.
it's actually caves that you can do that.
Yes. But you can build like under rock structures and things to
Yeah.
make, yeah.
You can't actually dig into the terrain to do it.
No.
Igor Litvinovic is asking, is there a solution for gamers who go on vacation and don't want to lose their entire base home but don't have access to the game? I think that goes into the question that we had earlier, but we can go over that.
I mean, we mentioned it, right? Like
Yeah.
you can basically have fuel for around, I think you can have basically 3 weeks, then it's a week before
Yeah,
everything will sort of start to decay. So
Yeah.
you have about a month, but like I think the that's about the limit we can do.
Yeah.
Right? Because with taxation as well, it's around a month. The
Yes.
thing is, I don't think people should expect more because we can't really guarantee people are going to be keeping playing the game if they're gone from the game for a month. But what you can do, as mentioned sort of before, is you can get someone else to just fuel your base for you, give them temporary permission if you trust someone. The other thing you can do is you can take a snapshot of your base as a blueprint, and you can store all of these items in the bank, which is by the exchange we talked about earlier. So there's a bank where you can put things. So you can put your best items away, leave the game for a year. You won't have your base when you come back, but you'll still have the blueprints for that base, and you can place it out and start from basically where you were, keeping your stuff at the tier that you were at. And the character will be persistent, just like in any sort of online multiplayer game, any kind of MMO. Your character will still be level 70
good to know.
or whatever. So if you go for a long vacation and go away from the game for a long time with a little bit of preparation, you can come back and be on your feet again pretty quickly. But if you want to go away for more than 4 weeks, yeah, it's going to be hard for us to like make sure that everything stays without any decay. And obviously that would lead to servers becoming really cluttered as well. So we have to be, we have to make sure that the game continues to flow for everyone else as well.
Yeah, and the bank, as mentioned, it does fit quite a lot of items, right? And you can also bank your Solari, your currency in there, which also further allows you to push ahead once you come back. So you don't have to struggle through the progression as you normally would.
Exactly.
That was the last question, potentially? I can't hear you. Like my in.
I can hear him. He said that was the last
It was
question.
the last question. Yeah, my in-ear doesn't work anyway.
He said
Okay.
that was the last question, and also pineapple does not belong on pizza, and he's been wrong all this time.
No one is
He's been wrong
asking
the
you
whole
about
time.
pizza.
He's been wrong the whole time.
No one is asking you about pizza toppings ever. That's one area. Your input doesn't count.
What?
one area.
Look at how fat I am. Of course, my opinion on food counts.
All right.
Cheers,
so
chat.
we should get actually some envelopes once the raffle is over, and we will go from the side. We will have envelope for you first,
right.
which will be the standard editions. Then for you with the deluxe edition, and I will have the honor to announce the ultimate edition winner. But let me also already say thank you for your time, as always. It's always a pleasure to have you on stream. Even though other people, even though people might not believe me saying that.
That sounded so sincere, Natasha. I was like,
It is
oh
though.
my.
No, I'm not joking. It is a pleasure to have you on the stream. No matter the chaos.
People enjoy
This is
my
like
toe shoes. Look,
Chaos,
that's-
chaos goblin.
It's a style statement.
Yeah, this is who I am.
Free food pics.
People thought I was
free-
drunk on the last stream, but the reality is it's just who I am. And
Well,
that's
that was
kind of sad too.
even for you. That was actually more energy than normal, which is
Too much Coke Zero. That's why I've switched to the max.
quite impressive. Anyway, so I think we're giving it maybe a few more minutes with the raffle. Or so remember exclamation mark. Woo! If you know, you know. So we give it a few more minutes.
Man,
What is chat's
Yeah,
best?
my in-ear doesn't work anymore.
What's the best June puns, chat?
what I think it's funny is that
What's
Oh,
your
we
favorite
lost
June pun?
power.
you know, the
Oh,
Lady
my
Jessica graded
sure I can
Dune card is in down the hall there from them.
Battery went out.
That I gave them.
I know that one. A shy
So for those of you who don't know, I actually
Yeah.
went to the Funcom offices in Oslo
Yeah, the
in
first
March.
envelope.
I flew out to
So we have-
Norway myself,
take
and
the
I
Chris knife.
still have to make that video.
Take it from you with my hand and put
Right.
So I've been in those offices
Are we
in
ready?
downtown Oslo,
So for the
and I gave them
ultimate
I donated
No,
a
standard
collectible
versus
Dune card
Standard.
that's graded to them.
order.
Yeah, I know. That's
It's not in this video,
What
but
can I
it's
say?
in a different
Yeah, that's
room.
nice. Okay, standard first. I_Nightshade I. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
also pronounced E Nightshade E. Is that correct?
How are we like?
not
okay,
sure.
Are they supposed to message us?
Yep.
We will DM you. So we will DM you on Twitch
All right, and
for further
then
information.
next one for standard is Goddard 202.
Goddard
202 or Goddard
Yeah.
202?
Congratulations.
I think Goddard 202
You're
or
Nice.
Goddard's 02. One or the other.
It's fine. It's
One
good.
of the others.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well done.
Cool. Now Joel has the pass it over.
Yes.
All right. I just like this. You do realize this is the most dangerous thing you could ever do on a live stream. Read out names of people's names. Like there could be all kinds of things
Oh, of
written
course.
in here.
I know.
Yeah, like
I know.
your mama was a sandworm. That's like could be one of the names. All kinds of things. This is, however, the deluxe edition goes to Windy 1995.
Windy 1995.
Probably born in 1995, which makes him a very good age.
Congratulations. And now, drum roll for the Ultimate Edition. Nice, I love it. Thank you, boys. Joker_PL, congratulations. You have won an Ultimate Edition of Dune Awakening. We will DM all of you on Twitch with further instructions.
I won't DM you. just
No,
so we're
not
clear.
Joel.
Won't
You
be
don't want Joel to
You don't
DM you,
want it?
believe me. No,
So I won't slide into your DMs like
no.
that.
Don't slide into anyone's DMs, please, Joel. We're still dealing with the last lawsuit. No, I'm just
They are, dude. They're funny like that.
was
The
a
folks
joke,
that I
by the
met
way,
over
that was
there,
a joke.
they're really nice.
Anyway.
I didn't meet any of
now we're
them,
encouraging
They
each
were
other.
not there
It's
that
good. That's not good.
but the people I did meet were awesome.
Again, thank you so much for being in the stream.
Real chill.
Again, we'll figure out if you're going to be
They
on the next
invited me,
stream or
a
not.
total
If you're
stranger, they
leaving-
don't
if-
know who
if
I
they
am.
let you out again.
And they let me come
But
into
it's
their
not
corporate
really
office.
always a pleasure.
Entire
No,
country
we
is
didn't.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's
I
we call that improvement and
didn't
progress.
do my bad impressions.
Anyway, so a few additional information. We will actually have an AMA on Reddit on the 6th of May at 4 p.m. CEST. But for those of you who can't be there, you actually will have the opportunity to go there already on the 5th of May. We will have a Reddit thread on the Dune Awakening Reddit where you can post your questions that we will answer in the EMA on the 6th of May. So take that opportunity to ask some questions to some of our lead designers, including Joel. Joel will be there to answer some questions as well. Yes. Again, remember to try to get a key for the beta. I saw that switch. It's totally fine to not be on my face. It's fine. Ignazi, you're good. Also remember to follow us on our socials, of course, join our Discord, Dune Awakening for everything. And thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope we'll see you again in our next stream. Good night.
All right, everyone. Cool. Yeah, I'm still trying to. I gotta put a little video together for that trip I did to Oslo. I went to Germany, Netherlands, and Norway back in March last month. Man, it feels so long ago, but it wasn't that long ago. I was just there like, was it like, what, 5 weeks ago? That was a secret. I kept that secret from, but yeah, I need to make a little video of that, of all that stuff, and put a little something funny together. It'd be a quick little thing. I couldn't tape inside. I couldn't videotape inside the building because it's, they're developing stuff there. So I got some photos and stuff. Let's see here if I can. I pulled some videos. I'll pull up this weekend. I'll see if I can get a little funny video together of that. Me trying to figure out the keypad of the building and all that. I showed some of you guys that stuff already to get in, but it was fun. Oslo is weird. It's all traffic circles. All the buildings are boxy looking. You can't tell what kind of stores inside the building. Everything looks like an REI building. Like the outdoor. Like the REI, the outdoor whatever store, camping store. It was kind of funny. I had the best chicken katsu sandwich I've ever had there, though, in Norway. It was pretty freaking good. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, everyone, I gotta hit the hay. So I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I wanted to finish the second part. If you haven't seen part one, if you missed part one, you can go back. It's up on my channel on YouTube and on Twitch. Just go back and watch the part one of that. And then and don't worry, tonight I have to go to bed. I won't be able to play any B movie role trailers like I did last night. But this weekend though, we will. This week I'll be nice and rested. Friday night, Saturday night, and I'll be able to show some funny stuff other than just Dune. So yeah. Oh, I was gonna play Mass Effect, but it's too late now. So I got it loaded, Mass Effect 3. But I did try Arc Raiders, guys. The playtest, that game's going on right now. Arc Raiders. It's like kind of a futuristic, post-apocalyptic kind of extraction shooter kind of game. Yeah, just from the little couple minutes I played it, it's pretty cool. But it's just kind of like all those rest of those games are, like a Tarkov freaking copy. Everything tries to copy Tarkov. Nothing's better than Escaping from Tarkov. Those extraction shooters, that's the best one out there. So. Yeah, if you ever played Escaping from Tarkov, it's hard. It's really freaking hard, but it's fun. And they got a single player mode now on there, so you don't get dunked on by people all the time. I mean, I'd get just decimated in Tarkov still all the time whenever I play it. Even on the single player when you're playing bots, because one hit, one shot, one kill like a real bullet in that game is a pain in the butt. But Marvel, yeah, I played it for a little bit. Maybe I should get back into it. Maybe I should get back into Marvel. The problem is I don't want to get engaged in any other games right now because Dune comes out in like a couple weeks, and this is gonna be Dune. Will probably be the only game I play steadily for foreseeable future. And then, I don't know until I play some other things, and then or some other Dune properties come out or something. But I'm surprised nobody else is making any Dune games out there. No RPGs or no any kind of. You have Dune Spice Wars, which is pretty cool, but there's no other Dune stuff coming out. It's weird. But maybe there will be if Dune Part 3 comes out and makes a lot of money again. So we'll see. Alrighty, folks. I gotta cut it off now. Gots to go to bed. If you guys go check out Arc Raiders, see if you like it. I don't know. I might go play it tomorrow or something, but we'll see. So good night, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow's Thursday, Friday night. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I'll let you guys know if I stream tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. And I'll see you guys later. Good night.
ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. Oceans buried deep within, sands will swirl where life begins. Voices from the past will guide in the desert, nowhere to hide. Empires rise and empires fall. In the spice I hear them call. Through betrayal and through faith I will carve my path, embrace my fate. Sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless ways I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the shrines I now embrace. The shrines I now embrace. Among the grace. Oh, sands of Arrakis, call my name. In your endless ways I'll stake my claim. Destiny's thread weaves through time and space. Among the tribes I now embrace. Oh, shadow beneath the sands, ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. Oh, oceans buried deep within, sands will swirl where life begins. Voices from the past will guide in the desert, nowhere to hide. Shine beneath the sands, ancient power in your hands. Rivers dry where prophecies flow. In the darkness, let my courage show. In the desert, nowhere to hide.